The second report that I want to talk about in this series is an assessment of the potential for digital financial services to have a real impact in the agriculture value chain in Myanmar. It was published about 8 months ago. It was sponsored by the U.S. Agency for International Development and written by staff from Include, MSTAR, and FHI 360. The complete report can be found at my website, which is i1P2P.com. So what do we mean when we're talking about digital financial services? As this report defines it, digital financial services is any service that is delivered or accessed through digital channels and instruments such as mobile phones, cards, point-of-sale devices, and agent outlets. What makes this different from other types of financial services in the Myanmar context is it's all about economically accessing customers. If you watch the video that we did about my trip out to meet with a rice farmer, you get a sense of how hard it is to get to the customers. Building a business model based on digital services takes that hurdle out of the equation, and in the case of Myanmar, makes scaling to meet demand not only viable, but highly profitable. For me, the main takeaways from this report is the potential for digital financial services to make the provision of microfinance profitable and customizable on a mass scale. So, profitable, customizable, and mass scale. Let me talk about each of those individually, starting with profitability. Let me give you an example from East Africa, where quite a bit of work has already been done in the area of digitizing microfinance. As this report states, Juhindo Kilimo in Kenya realized savings of 56% by using mobile money service M-Pesa for its loan distributions and repayments. Mobile money is just now getting started in Myanmar. In fact, when I left a couple of weeks ago, 8 major players were just waiting for their final licensing so they could begin operating Myanmar's first mobile money services. In a market where overheads run at about 18% of overall portfolio, largely due to the cost of reaching customers, a 56% cost reduction is huge. Another area of savings that this report doesn't cover, but that is also demonstrated in Kenya, is the work of Inventure Mobile. They're using phone data and phone histories to generate the customer profiles so that they don't have to go out and meet individually one-on-one with the customers. Just using this data alone, they are reporting repayment rates of 90%. Okay, so what about customizable, and why is that important? Well, no two farmers and no two families are alike. They each have their own challenges and opportunities. Unfortunately, current microcredit models are all one-size-fits-all. Let me give you an example from this report. Farmers in Myanmar can often plant green gram immediately after harvesting their rice to take advantage of the residual soil moisture. But due to labor shortages from the rice threshing and the preparation, green gram crop is frequently planted late, which results in moisture stress that can increase the risk of low yield and even failed crops. A short-term loan to hire the labor required to do both would greatly increase the farmer's overall profitability. Another example from the recent proximity report is the fact that existing loan structure are timed for the repayments to happen at harvest, which actually leads to insufficient drying and rushing product to market, which greatly reduces the farmer's profitability. Customizable repayment schemes and investments in proper drying and even storage until seasonal prices increase could greatly increase some farmers' profitability. Digital financial services creates an environment where these types of individual opportunities can be capitalized on. So is it really scalable in Myanmar and other developing countries? The author of this report found that 87% of the respondents from their focus groups owned mobile phones, 51% owned smartphones, and 36% were feature phones. Among upper value chain members such as millers, dealers, and traders, 92% had mobile phones, 67% were smartphones. As the report says, coupled with rapid spread of mobile network coverage, these mobile phones adoptions and usage trends indicate a strong potential for mobile-based DFS. With regards to expanding our business model to other countries where smartphone usage is lower, we've built the supply of smartphones, solar chargers, and internet connectivity costs into our business model, which means we can implement our model in Africa, for example, where most people use feature phones, because we're actually providing the smartphones and still be highly profitable.